All right. When we last left our crew, we were floating dead in space. Monster's body tumbling into the void. No, wait. That's the end of this coming session. Wait a
I was supposed
Oh,
to say, no, this sounds familiar at all.
minute.
by the
uh,
way, I want to say that we have gotten to episode 10, which means that all of my left padding zeros on the episode numbers that all the titles line up finally is paying off.
finally justified.
Yes. But you know, if we hit 100, I'm going to be really pissed off.
We're not going to hit 100. I don't think.
Doesn't seem likely. But, you know.
I'm terribly disappointed. I didn't even get.
Break things into 30-minute segments.
I'm terribly disappointed that I didn't even get a single groan for the justified pun. Really? Anyway, you were talking
There
about
was the pun.
font or like text alignments and stuff. And
We just were aligned with you there.
Jesus. All right. I think the part of the reason that the puns annoy me is I'm not good enough at them to get groans. I'm just bad at them, I guess. I don't know.
So you'll just have to kill us all.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, all right. So we were somewhere in the vicinity of this yellow. Oh, look at my pings are even yellow too. This yellow square. Floating ship. One person aboard. Linked into the systems. A complicated situation with dormant, although not deactivated, not entirely deactivated mines floating in the area, and trying to get this cow on skates out of here and headed across the system in the general direction of Baftoma, where lies
The money.
the dreadnought, the not semi-functional dreadnought that of the wreckers that would like this stuff that you have on board. I think that was where we left everything. Everyone's pretty much cockpit located, give or take, if I am not mistaken. And that's about all I know as far as that goes. So there's some question about, um, sort of the piloting role or the helm role to get out of here, and possibly simplifying some of the nightmarish complications of piloting this monstrous big boy out of here, while in turn avoiding the mines, or how to get the mines kind of out of the equation. All that kind of good stuff. So let's talk complications and see what we learn.
Well, I know last time I talked about doing a setup role for Drifter by talking this guy into turning over full control to us.
Right.
And just sort of, all right, if we need you to do anything, you're going to do it.
So, yeah, there's a couple, mechanically, there's a couple of fun things to do with this where you can have everybody kind of team up and lead, and there's some risk there of, in that case, Drifter picking up some extra stress, which we did a little bit of last time, and I think have Drifter a bit close to having a bit of a meltdown. Or this kind of thing here where the current situation is a bit desperate, and we can possibly soften that up with this roll. So yeah, if you are inclined to get on the horn and talk this guy down a bit, I am behind that. But what's that look like?
So basically, this is going to be like this. As far as like Armin's concerned, this is merely talking like the year 3 intern, down off the ledge and be like, no. Listen, there are processes involved and things of this sort. Don't worry, we're not going to fire. Like that sort of thing. So for this guy, it's just like, don't worry, don't worry. We have systems to take care of all this sort of stuff. Look over to Drifter. God, we got things to do this, right? Yeah. Yeah, we've got things to take care of this. You just turn over full system control to us, and if I tell you to do something, you're going to do it.
This is your department definitely does not have to worry about downsizing conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I hate those conversations. Well, all right. No, I like that. Wait, no, who is this? I was talking. Is this the guy with the big guy? This isn't the big guy. You don't sound the same.
No. Don't worry about the big guy. Let me worry about the big guy.
Well, I wasn't worried about the big guy. It's just like, no, the big guy. Who are you?
I'm the big guy's boss.
Hot sauce go down the wrong pipe?
I just have this picture of the entire everyone in the cockpit simultaneously going bullshit.
I just want Armin's just gonna put his hand over the microphone and be like, I sign your checks, damn it, I'm your boss.
But like you were already covering
it's what it takes for you to,
Like you were already covering the mic before anybody said anything because you knew it was coming. All right. Okay. So, what's your name then? Then, like, who are you?
Probably need to not speak on mute. Yeah, my name's Armin, and I'm going to be walking you through this today. Now, do you have like a left-aligned console or a right-aligned console?
Right. I mean, it's omnidirectional. We can switch it back and forth. I mean, I'm
whatever's your preference on this. Now, I'm going to need you to hit that nice big button that says Access Override Control.
What? You're gonna steer the ship from there? This thing is damn.
Don't worry, you'll be fine.
I don't know if anybody could even steer it from here, let alone there.
Don't you worry about that. Let me worry about that.
All right. So let's have the roll, see how he goes. So let me think about, I want to stop this for a second because we want the guy to switch over controls. And basically what we're really looking at here is just making the situation a little bit easier. That's the basic idea. But we still set risks and scope on this, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So risky. I'm trying to figure out what the risk on this is going to be. I think the risk here is that he's going to require some he's going you guys can get remote control of the ship, but there may be some risk that he's just going to he requires somebody to come over and hold his hand rather. So you're going to have control from your cockpit, but there's a question as to whether or not one of you is going to have to be there.
Okay.
Is that fair? That sound like a reasonable consequence?
I'm just going to point out real quick that one of the Lensman stories had a landing on a planet so difficult that the captain had to dispatch one of his guys to literally knock people out to keep them from lunging at the controls to back off.
I like that. Like they're going to panic, so we just need to plan for that and just they'll wake up after we're landed and it'll be fine. I like that. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like, I can my sway to add my voice in there of the guy sounds like he's a dick, but we actually know what we're doing here,
Yeah.
I can help out if you want,
Yeah, if you want to eat a stress, I will definitely take that.
Yeah. That's
I can do that.
It's one stress for you. You just basically you don't even have to roll. You throw in another dice for that, and that's a great chime in kind of,
Oh no, go away.
So one stress for you, and that's an extra die for Armin. I think that puts. So where's that get you? Is that 3 then?
Yeah, that's 3. And Art.
I've discovered the problem of doing
Risky.
this on my tablet.
What's that?
The fingertip is not small enough to boxes.
I will send you a link to the Kaylee has these styli, I guess, that we got a pair of for like a total of $14 or something like that. And they work quite well. She does them for drawing and stuff.
Probably have a stylus somewhere around here too.
Well, this is an interesting one because it actually has like a plastic hard tip on one end that works pretty well. Like it's weird. It's got a disc and then
like an old Palm Pilot. The Palm Pilot was like that.
Yeah. And then the other end,
those were the days.
The other end has that rounded kind of tip that you see on the styluses that you get as like fundraise, like just swag stuff from businesses and stuff. Except instead of being rubber, it's like a weirdly kind of metal clothy mesh. So it's very, very durable. Those are pretty good. Okay, so that's 3 dice to Armin. Armin, what else you got going on?
Oh, I just wanted to know what my level and effect was.
I think it's basically risky, and the standard. I mean, it's pretty standard. I mean, this is. I mean, it's not like you're trying to like do something that the ship doesn't have a process for, so it's pretty standard. Remote control isn't super common, but it is a process. Remote control of the ship is a process that exists. So it feels like standard, feels like risky because there's a reasonable risk that he's going to just go, nope. So I think that's standard, risky standard.
All right. Well, then I'm going to go ahead and push.
Okay.
And...
that gets you 4 then.
Yep.
We will.
Risky standard and 4. Or 2 bonus dice. I almost rolled 6.
Ooh. Glad you had those bonuses.
Yes, so am I.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, listen, like, I mean, I know I'm supposed to be technical, like I'm the navigator, but man, I do this thing by feel, man. I am really in tune with the way, and that's kind of how I do this stuff. I don't really get into this technical thing. Like, I know the stuff I have to push, but I just kind of feel it, you start talking about like right facing, left aligning, some of this stuff you just kind of have to feel, man. I'm not good with the technical. If you got somebody over there who's really good at this stuff, don't walk me through it, man. I don't even like rebooting my tablet. Okay. I try not to even mess with that kind of stuff.
Drifter's nodding along with all this. He's like, yeah.
That's exactly.
And I'll join in by spouting some way shit at him.
Armin's just like grabbing the bridge of his nose, and it's just like he's got the comm on mute, and it's just like, okay, whatever, you've got the thing. Go. Drive us away from here.
Well, no, this is the thing. It's like he wants somebody over there to do all the. Like, I'm not going to get in your way or anything. I'll show you where everything's at, man. But somebody else has got to push these buttons and stuff, man. I mean, it's beyond me. Hello?
Pondering.
Yeah.
So, because making sure I didn't get this wrong, but the risk here, like not getting the 6, is that somebody's got to come over and babysit this Yahoo. So.
Who wants to play babysitter?
Someone. Go ahead.
I can go over. You can go over since he already knows you. I'm not add much support to the ship itself, so
that's fine. It doesn't have to be anybody with any actual skills. It's just a matter of like he wants somebody to,
I almost wonder what it'd be like to have Sun over there just tactically sedating him. Like, we need a little more sedation. No, less. Bring it back. No, a little more.
A little bit more. A little bit less. A little bit. Nope. Stimulants. No. Too much. Human cocktail shaker.
I'm just reminded of like the 2009 Star Trek movie where Bones is continuously treating Kirk, just with an array of new stuff.
I like it. So who's volunteering reluctantly to go
I can go, or Monster can go.
Wait, do we find something for?
I would be good to go, and then I can also make sure that
I mean, you could.
I was about to say, there's safety in numbers. You can all go.
Oh, great. Then you're going to leave us there.
No.
No, is ship he is wanting.
Right. All right. So who is going? It could be more than one.
Wasn't there a reason we didn't go on the ship? Like it was full of.
Well, yeah,
creatures.
That is again. Otherwise, this really wouldn't be much of a risk. Yeah, there's potentially. Well, there's not potentially. There's critters around. So.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. Okay.
I will go along with the doc.
Okay. So Sun and I think again that I'm mostly curious about whether or not you get there quietly or whether or not there's a fracas on the way, a fray on the way. Monster. So
is there a clock on this?
Because
that would sort of indicate it. I said, is there a clock on this?
Right.
Yes. Because I would think that would be
advancing things on the clock.
I had things somewhere. Where did it go?
There it is.
Is it? Where?
Let's just scroll down for.
I see clocks. I don't see this clock. Oh, let me get one going here. Blah blah blah. Where? I want this 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll be fine. 1 second. Controlled by all players. We'll tick it up here because we have something kind of happening here. All right. So yeah, we can. So I think the negotiating through the ship, just getting where you're going, making sure you're not stirring anything up there, monster. Probably a skulk roll. I think that seems most appropriate.
For both of us?
Or... Well, no, you don't.
No, I'm much more likely to attract attention and do something that would cause problems.
Let me. We could do this a couple.
You can roll to support me.
So there's a couple different ways you could do it as like a team thing, where if you fail, any failure dice come up as stress on monster. He doesn't have a ton
and
of
failures being 1s and 2s.
Yeah, well, 1, 2, 3s.
I don't know where is monster at in stress.
I've got three pips left.
So unless
that's fine. That just means that I may be able to patch you up.
Yeah.
Boko.
I mean, I don't know if you patch up trauma. That isn't exactly how that works, but oh wow, it's actually the Stitch even has some skulk. So go there. Isn't there a? I mean, you guys could both just roll and see how it goes, but I don't know if that actually makes sense. It's nice that you do have a skill in it because that actually gives you decent dice, or doesn't give you bad dice. So yeah, we can do it like that. I don't know, and I'm just going to ask the question, Kay, knowing that there's way critters on the ship, do you want to be involved in getting onto that ship and dealing with the ship? Or I don't know how much you feel like that's a problem I should be approaching or not. You've tripped into that situation a couple times, but I don't know how much you really feel like that's your thing.
It's less the creatures and more the artifacts.
Right. So I mean, Monster and Sun going is certainly fine. So if you work together as a team, Monster leading, that's you two rolling 2 dice and Monster taking stress from any failed dice. He's probably not pushing because, again, he doesn't have much stress left to push with.
Right.
Sun could push and get another dice to roll, which increases the chance of success, although it doesn't necessarily decrease the chance of you picking up stress. I mean, to a certain extent, you don't want to roll too many dice because then if they all come up failures, you're in a bad situation.
Yes.
Although, hey, if you're trying to avoid scary way creatures that have already been inside your head, and you end up picking up trauma from this, I think narratively, that's a pretty short leap to make. So that kind of works for me.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I did.
Hey, Doyce.
Yes, sir.
I will remind you, it's each person who fails gives him.
Each
It's not dice.
Each dice. No, that would be ridiculous.
Really? Are you sure? Because I thought that one guy took like 8 stress from that one, or was it just because everybody at the table screwed up?
There was they had assistance from all over the place.
Okay, that's good to know. So yeah, worst case scenario, you're only going to take 2 stress from that. I mean, what are the odds? I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm still not going to push myself.
That seems fair.
Besides, what is worse can happen?
Yeah.
Must fight way beasts.
Yeah, I mean, and a devil's bargain along this thing. It'd probably be some. I mean, the first thing that springs to mind for me would be like some kind of complication with the way creatures like to get riled up, or they do something untoward. I'd probably have to get more specific before you'd be interested in that, but I don't know if you're interested in going for a devil's bargain if you just want to sit on the dice that you've got.
I think I'll go with the dice that I have.
Sun, do you want to push to give yourself an extra dice? That would be 2 stress for you for an extra die to roll. It all kind of goes in the pool, but increases the odds of somebody coming up with a 6, which is always nice.
Sure.
It's up to you. But I mean, certainly you're motivated to be extra sneaky. All right, so both of you roll. Is it desperate? Partially compromised hull, infested with way beasts, sneaking through something that you've only really kind of seen some schematic maps for. Does that sound desperate to you guys?
Sounds like everyday work.
Yeah.
If it's desperate, I should be there.
Well, I mean, the thing is, everybody gets an XP tick for desperate. So I'm not so much threatening desperate as offering it to you. It is up to you. You see what I'm saying?
But you remember, I get special.
Yes, I know. You get
it
gets even better if you're rolling desperate. Yes, I get that. But so do you think that sounds desperate enough? I leave that as in this particular case, I leave it as a call to the players.
Is that a devil's bargain?
No, it's not a devil's bargain. It's just unless I am the devil in this case, it's not a specific devil's bargain. It's just do you want it to be desperate? It can be desperate. I can see it being desperate.
Sure.
All right, so desperate standard is what you're going to be rolling for the thing. You're rolling monster. You're rolling 1 dice. You're taking it all. The results are all together, kind of. Monster's rolling 1 dice. Sun, you're rolling 2. And we'll see what we get. Desperate. Okay, and I think it's pretty clear. Well, look at that. We got a 6, so it doesn't really matter.
Woo!
Yay! And we only had 1 person with a failure. So, monster, you take 1 stress from yourself.
It's very stressful being skulky when you're
monster.
Mark an XP in that action's tribute. Cool.
So you were both rolling a desperate roll, so you both get a little tick from that.
In prowess.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the? Oh God. Where is the thing on the team? The working as a team thing. Where is that at? Like in the book, I'm having the hell of a time finding it. I thought it was right at the beginning. Like the helping each other out, assistance.
It's not in the beginning. It's going to be somewhere in the middle.
I mean, I thought it was right at the beginning, but maybe
I thought it was on the short list too. Wasn't it on the?
158.
Of course, it's not anywhere near where I was looking. Teamwork. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So monster stress, but so a little bit of stress. It's stressful getting through the bowels of the thing, but you manage to avoid. You do get close enough, monster, at one point where you kind of duck back that you see these things, or at least one of them. And it's enough to like give you some pause, which I'm going to say is where the origin of the stress that you picked up came from. What does this thing look like as it's creeping through this largely zero-G environment at this point?
I imagine it as something that looks vaguely centipede-like.
Ooh, I like that.
Kind of with that sort of fluorescent glow that I'm kind of imagining these things all having, but with
Say that again.
With sort of a fluorescent glow, which is what I imagine kind of all these way beasts look like. They almost look like energy creatures as opposed to, at least that's the way I've pictured them, as opposed to actual tangible slimy creatures.
Yeah, so it's kind of a glowing.
But aside from kind of that's that centipede body and everything, I'm thinking just because they've got that horrific / spirit nature to them, this one has a face that kind of looks like you could imagine it looking like one of the people.
Oh, yikes! That's creepier even than what I posted up a picture of. Although I do like this picture and I'm totally saving it. But I put a link up there in the chat on a centipede-like critter that has caused me no end of pain on Lord of the Rings. So these things are, they make you not even want to stay in Moria, I tell you.
Oh,
yes.
You
collect 500 centipede mandibles.
They're big suckers too.
They are. I am not a fan of those things. Ooh, actually, you talk about having the face. This is worse. This is so much worse. And that means it is. Oh, yeah. Here you go. Here you go.
I found or
no. Take a look.
It's pretty bad too.
Take a look at this guy. Oh yes.
I don't like the hand.
We are definitely. I mean.
I like mine better.
I mean, I understand, but creepy way creatures. That is.
Ooh. That's I do like James's. That's,
yeah. Oh, I like that.
Because it has the face.
Well, the other thing has a face. Kind of.
Only a mother could run screaming from. Yes. I have to admit that I think Joyce's definitely kind of wins on the creep factor here.
Yeah, if you take that and make it kind of
you obviously don't remember that episode very well.
It's a good episode, certainly, and a lovely critter. I mean, I was thinking of the centipede thing with like the fluorescent stuff. In any case, I wanted to see what it was really that monster would see and find creepy. And that kind of
you succeeded.
And I succeeded. Well, you got a couple things.
And creeping us all out.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna just that along. All right. So you guys get to the having creep through the thing and get to the secondary bridge thing, and you like I guess knock or something like that, and he's like, "How do I know it's you?" He's like whispering.
Say something only we would recognize. That doesn't help.
Did not be me.
Monster.
What?
How many people are coming and knocking on your door?
All right, yeah, that has to be. Bill, I have to tell you, that was like weirdly reversing enough that it actually confused me. But what?
It seemed like the sort of thing Monster would cook up in the moment, so that's.
Tell us something only you would know. But that wouldn't. All right. Anyway, so you get in there, and with who's giving the instructions over on the bridge for this? Like getting it straightened out or getting it turned down and stuff. Who's like, or does?
You want me to do that, or
the sun?
Are you still doing that?
Well, no. There's no. I'm from a narrative point of view. I'm just wondering, like, or does Sun just know what to do in terms of like the process that you go through to turn in the remote thing because he's got rigging? What do you think, Sun? Do you already like, is one good reason to come is because you know how to do this or know what you need to do?
Or I can I can
a quick briefing
I can call upon a past patient I had who was a pilot or something.
I just have this picture of you looking back at your past patients like Ong looking back at the Avatar states. And
yes, I love it.
Yeah, anyway. All right, so yeah, you kind of do this while Monster sort of, hi, we met before, but we haven't, met, so it's really good to have somebody else here that's,
tell me a little bit about this guy. I mean, how does he look?
So he's I guess the best way I would think of it is sort of you got your basic sort of like plain core, like that's not going to be helpful. So kind of a really scraggly goatee, patchy beard, like no matter how long this goes, it's going to be patchy.
A shaggy beard.
So he's shaggy.
I was going in the direction of like sort of like a Weasley Keanu Reeves, like that kind of patchy. So it's just never going to quite, kind of come in. Little kind of shaggy in that, yeah, closer to shaggy, I guess, in terms of his demeanor, but sort of, yeah, shaggy without it being terribly comedic, honestly.
Too late.
Yeah, okay, fair. But yeah, so he's kind of in like, he's one of those guys that all of his clothes look too big for him, no matter what, like just baggy. And
so a bit like me.
I'm a little bit, I guess. I mean, if you
all of my clothes are built for movement.
Yeah, this guy looks like he just keeps borrowing stuff from other people, or like he bought it at the right size and then shrank out of it. It's like, yeah, no. So like, I'm X-Ray. Welcome to everything. All the stuff and everything like that. Thanks for rescuing me, I guess. And it's really good to see you guys. And he starts crying, kind of, and like sort of. Just kind of standing there doing like his shoulders are kind of hunching. You don't really know what's going on. You're not sure if he's about to throw up or something like that. You realize he's starting to cry. and just looking at you two, where Sun, I don't see Sun's bedside manner as being the kind of person that's really aimed at this kind of comfort, and or Monster really knowing what to do with this, but that's fine. He's just sort of standing there like, tears brimming and mouth trembling and that kind of thing. Just so good to like. I didn't think I was ever gonna. No, it's my me. It just happens sometimes. Kind of making that noise. Anyway, some of this is coming over the comms to you guys. Back in the ship. So, hooray for you! I guess you get to hear all this. But you do see the systems come online, so the ship is ready to go. That's going to make things considerably easier. Rather than being hacked, it's like a fully symbiotic thing. There are amber and red lights across the control panel as far as the stuff that's dodgy or non-functional, and I say this more to Drifter than anybody else. But it's not unworkable. It just tells you the stuff that you shouldn't try to call on to use. But you do have some propulsion and stuff like that to work with. More attitudinal thrusters than honest to God propulsion, but that can help.
Yeah. Hey, how much control do we have over the mines at this point?
What?
Thought we were gonna push the derelict into the mines.
There was some thought about that. You could try. You could theoretically as much as you want because it came from this ship, so it's just a matter of doing it. I think the question of like sort of getting full control of the ship was that it was going to be extended to kind of directing these, or at least putting them in some kind of mode. I don't know that they can be steered as such, but they can be told that there's a certain target or a certain mode that can be put in, so you could put them into full standby, basically shut them down, tell them to glom onto a certain thing, that kind of stuff. You can't really like steer them like a remote control hive, really, but
I thought last time we were going to send them after the other ship.
That was certainly one of the options that we talked about. Yeah, I just didn't know.
Because we had two pieces of equipment here. Mm-hmm. One of which we thought we could pilot, the other which we couldn't.
We really can't. Yeah.
So if we can use the mines to compensate for that, that would be cool.
That's absolutely fine. I'm going to say that's probably a rig roll. Probably, I think it feels like a rig roll to kind of get the stuff to. And I mean, Sun's on the ship. Sun, you wanna see if you can't get these mines to go after the other wreck as like a hostile target kind of a thing.
Yeah.
All right. So that's rig and problem is some of these mines probably came from that ship. So things that might theoretically help with that would be if somebody wanted to hack. If somebody also had rig to kind of help with that. Throw in their 2 cents.
I can take stress and assist. Yeah.
If you're showing, well, you're wait. I'm looking at.
I got 3 points left. I'm good.
Armin, are you inclined to help with the hacking? I think you might be the only one with hack. I threw that out there as another thing, but
I am. I can assist with hacking.
Yeah, we could do it as a assist or a group thing. You're really close on assist, aren't you? That's going to cap you out on stress, I'm just saying. Or no, it wouldn't cap you out. It would just be 1.
Yep.
Get you pretty close.
You got 2 left.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a couple dice there. That gets you rolling 3, which is probably pretty good. Risk here, I'm gonna say this is it's pretty straightforward. It's in terms of like the result. The risk here is probably uh some relatively low grade ship damage because there might be a chain reaction through this thing, or the explosion is going to have bits of ship flying everywhere, or something's going to cook off that's still live on the other ship and cause some kind of weird. But the risk in general is just that it goes a little bit sideways. We end up taking some ship damage. Um, that seems like because we're going to make stuff explode in relative proximity to where you guys are. That seem about fair for the risk?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. In that case, Sun, if you don't mind, you roll your rig with with 2 extra dice. Risky standard, please. Let's see what we get. Whew. Well, I'm glad we established that. Thank God for those bonus dice. That's a 4. Okay, so See, I say these things and they sound really simple, and then I have to go, okay, now where's ship damage? Oh my God, help me look, people. Where in the heck is the ship damage at?
Hey, I'm going to ask, can I resist that with prowess? Because I'm participating in this.
You can't. Well, probably the person I would say to resist it would be Sun.
Okay.
You could absolutely. Good Lord, where's it at? I want to lay out what it's for to what it's worth to. Oh, Jesus.
It on the cheat sheet, rules 1.
I really.
It's
certainly hope
the
so.
ship. The ship damage would be for like the player ship, and it's going to be one system is temporarily lowered by 1.
Since where are we at here? Risky.
Could I do something?
Where were you looking at the ship damage? What did you spot, Margie, on rules 1?
Well, I was just wondering if under the teamwork rules that somebody could use protect to face the danger, and then they can roll a resist on it.
Oh.
I mean, that's essentially what you're saying. Roll is 1d per attribute dice.
You're clever. Hang on. I got to look at that. Protect. Face danger for a teammate. Step in to suffer a consequence in a place. You can roll resist as normal. Oh, it's not that you resist for that thing.
I mean, why not?
I mean, I guess.
I mean, I see it in something like this is, grabbing the frayed wires and connecting the circuit or something, and taking electrical damage, but the ship want it to do.
Right. Yeah, I mean, where I was going with it was having Sun like sort of as things start to go slightly sideways with the explosions and stuff, like sort of having to scramble with the rig and stuff, and that causing that mental stress of having to like Die Hard thing where the one guy is chainsawing through the communication tubes with the chainsaw, while the other guy who he didn't hear is like frantically trying to like clip off some of the wires before they're all severed and everything goes wrong. So that frantic like wiping the sweat from his brow afterwards kind of thing where kind of a scrambling thing. I mean, I feel like the consequences are a result of Sun's roll, so I would have him see if he wants to resist it, if that's okay. I mean, you can do the protect thing. I feel like it originates more from that other ship, but correct me. I mean, change my thinking, change my mind. Be that meme. I'll be that guy.
Well,
or what do you think? Go ahead.
Since we're kind of turning over control of the ship over to Drifter, it would seem like he would have some hand in being able to stabilize this whole situation.
Sure.
We've got an additional element in this situation, which is our ship, so he could be using that as well as part of this process.
Yeah. I'm absolutely on board with that. I'm to a certain extent I'm trying to spread to a certain extent I'm trying to spread the stress out a little bit because I know Son really hasn't taken anything, and it was sort of his original role. He was doing the rig and stuff like that. So.
Oh yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm just saying, like, narratively, it makes sense that I could do it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, Son, what do you think? I'm gonna start with you because if you're like, yeah, I don't really see myself being able to scramble with this kind of thing or whatever. So the idea is now what Mike had found in some location that I still have yet to locate is that there's there's temporary damage to a ship that takes a system offline. You can resist that to make that result less or non-existent, to certainly reduce that outcome by literally resisting. So the idea is you take 6 stress minus your would be you roll your it would be based off of rig, so you would roll your
insight?
Your insight, the stat itself, and whatever your high roll is, you subtract that from 6, and that's how much stress you actually take from sort of scrambling through this and saying, "Not today, Satan," or whatever. So that's it's a mechanic that is integral to the game, which we've used like 3 times. So to sum up the narration thing, rigging this thing up, you and...
The question is, would you rather the ship take damage, or would you rather you take stress?
I currently have 3 stress left.
Oh, that's right. You're kind of
3 stress available.
Everyone has stress. Yeah, so it's a little risky on your part. Although the upside is you're
not sure if I want to get trauma from trying to fly a broken ship.
It's not so much flying the broken ship as it is like scrambling to make the...
I don't know.
To make the mines not do stuff. But yeah, I mean, you're rolling 3 dice.
Rolling 3 dice.
Which is pretty good on the resist roll.
And can people hear me?
So how many pips do you have of stress left?
I have 3 left.
You'd probably be okay.
You get like a 50-50 shot of being okay.
It's a little...
for each roll, each die.
Yeah, it's better than 50-50, but...
50-50 chance.
I think it's better than 50-50. Are you guys hearing me okay? I don't know if you are or not, honestly. Hang on. I think the answer is no. That's a no. Hello. Sorry.
Hey. I can hear that.
Jeez. Yeah, our internet connection has been super flaky for a little bit. Okay, so the last thing I heard was you guys were kind of, I think someone was kind of looking at this going, well, I've got 3. Rolling 3 dice to figure out how much stress you take is better than a 50-50 chance you're not going to take 3. You would have, I mean, that's pretty low odds that you would roll all 3 dice worse than a 3. So
I don't think it's a high risk.
Wait. You'd have to roll. You need at least one of them to be a 3 to be like marginally, nominally okay. Is what that boils down to, I think. Is that right?
Isn't that what you just said?
Something like that.
So one of them being at least a 3 is the same as saying that they can't all be under 3.
It's probably. Math is hard. Math is hard. Statistics are worse. So, but it's up to you. It's up to you, son. If that's like if that is risk too far, then don't risk it. Somebody else can certainly. It sounds like a couple people are like willing to jump in there and.
Oh no!
Do it.
Sure, you know.
It's a short run game. Take some stress.
Trauma.
Have a trauma. I mean, given what some of your inspirations for on your character, honestly, some trauma would probably do you like, you know.
Oh, thanks.
I was gonna say, get method, man. You know. Okay, so you roll. You basically just roll. Wait, is there an actual? Did they make a button for taking stress?
For resisting?
For resisting, yeah. Did they just make a button?
Yeah.
For that? There is a button for that.
There is a button for that.
Where?
It's you click on Insight, Prowess, or Resolve.
Oh, I was looking for a thing titled
like resist. Yep.
So I tap Insight.
Yep.
No bonus dice.
No bonus dice. And,
Hey.
And it says Insight. Does it say anything else? Hey, look at that.
106.
Hey.
Suffer 6 stress minus the highest die.
So.
Congratulations.
So
Nice.
0 stress.
Wait.
And you get to clear a stress.
No, that's only on a critical.
Yeah, crit you get to clear.
Crit is 2 6s?
Yep.
2 6s.
Oh.
Okay.
Yep. Which is fine. Taking none is still good in a situation like that. So, as we were talking about, the particular risk to what was going on here is that we get some kind of blowback on some sort of blowback from we're setting off explosives somewhere near us and what's going to happen from that. Something in the wreckage of the other ship was live. So as the mines, like the first couple mines get there and go, like the first 2 that go off, it's like a crazy chain reaction, and the ship just like, so there's pieces of ship, and the first like, it's like, oh wow, that went up a lot harder than I was, and then this clang as like a chunk of hull smacks into your ship, just rings through like it's like a bell ringing all the way through the ship, and you're like, oh shit. Luckily you still got a lot of mines left, so you find yourself like, because you were already in this screen for like identify friend or foe kind of thing on your, the friend or foe identification on these mines, and you're just like just tablet tapping like crazy, going that's an enemy, that's an enemy, that all this flying debris that's coming your general direction, you're identifying it as friends or foe for all the mines that are still functional, and basically intercepting as much as you can. Now, this may not be the best way to solve a problem. Like, there's an explosion causing shrapnel, so let's solve that by blowing up the shrapnel with more explosions. But you work with the tools that you have. So there's definitely a frantic 10 to 15 seconds, and there's still stuff hitting the ship, the big ship. But it's a big ship. It's pretty well screwed up. And you're not taking, I mean, if this were a ship in pristine condition, probably a bunch of stuff would be red and yellow, but a lot of the places where this thing is hitting is already a ship that's messed up. So you're not losing anything too terrible, or losing anything really that wasn't already lost. And it is, for those of you who can actually see the space out there, quite a show. It's a bit of a 4th of July display out there. So that between the adrenaline wash and everything like that, you're pretty much covered in sweat by the time you're done. But you're not dead, which is awesome. And there's enough Pat like shouting.
And we haven't destroyed the other ship, so.
Yeah, you haven't destroyed it. You haven't destroyed the ship that you want to keep. The other ship
or
is gone.
Our own.
Yep. And there's enough like nice job over the comms that you get that kind of, exhausted, relieved grin kind of thing, afterwards, once you've kind of sorted out exactly what's going on there. And yeah, ship cleared out. So we will take that as a couple things. So situation has gotten pretty, certainly simplified the thing quite a bit. Multi-side, choose the side. Yeah. We just got to get the ship out of here, really, and you can head on out. Most of the mine's gone. There's debris, but it's chaff at this point. The ship is pretty much out of the way, and you have full control of the system. So it's really relatively simple. And these were both at least one of them was a helping. Would we consider both of these helping roles that change the position? Yeah, I feel like they would.
Yeah, I feel like this has gone from like a very desperate to take this whole thing out of a giant minefield into control. Okay, let's take our 2 ships out this way.
Yeah. It's gone from desperate to control. This is we're just gonna sail right on out of here. It's pretty straightforward. So controlled standard piloting challenge of getting this big beast out of here, and home. Well, home for its new home, not your home necessarily. Are we ready?
I see one gambit left on the ship. Has anybody got to spend it, or can I?
I feel like that's a good spend.
I cannot think of a better
I think
time.
it's the best spend there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And does anybody have a stress that they'd like to spend assisting?
I can. I still have a couple of space, so if you would
so
like.
You're modulating that guy's response that we have over there,
Nice.
or doing something else.
Just kind of.
I think what I'm going to do is just sort of keep him distracted by tales of space exploration and things like that
nice
distract him from the oh my god, we're all going to die.
I for some reason I just see this as they like taking the guy out of the seat and being like, let me tell you a story, while Sun just slides right into where he was sitting and being like,
there's a I've been rereading the Dark Tower series, and there's a bit in the last book where one of the characters is like, you see that Billy Bumbler over there? Yeah, he can talk. Why don't you go over there and see if he can say your name? And this is an adult with a rather childlike mind, and it takes him out of the conversation for the next 2 chapters so they can plan this assault of gratuitous violence that they don't want him involved in any way, because he's wrapped up in playing with the puppy dog, while the other people get their crap while other people get to the business of blood and explosions. And it's just it's the same kind of thing. It's like, let me tell you a story. Come on over here, Shaggy. Let me distract you with a veggie burger. Okay, so we've got Drifter's not inconsequential piloting skill. We've got the Gambit. We've got an assist die from Bay, which gets us up to 5. Is that right? I think that's 5.
Yeah, so I'm going to roll 2 bonus dice.
All right, off you go then. Roll them dice. Roll them bones. Hell.
Jesus Christ.
Whoo! And this is what I do. Like, I forget to say risk here. But you know what? So let's see if we can settle this one. I feel like, we complete the thing. It gets us out of here. I think what I'm going to do with this one, because it's pretty straightforward, is throw an extra heat on the result of this. And it's not necessarily it's not like authority heat, but there's going to be, because of the damage to this big ship, there's going to be a bit of a, I don't know, called a radioactive trail or something like that.
We're going to be leaving space debris all the way to where we're going.
Exactly. So people
maybe not all the way.
People that are unhappy with the fact that you kind of snake the job out from underneath them are going to know exactly where, that you did it, and where they're going to know who did it and kind of where it went and all that kind of good stuff. So should the hammer fall or some sort of retribution or at least some, snarky troublemaking in the future, it's kind of that kind of thing. So the heat's more likely to come from some of the other factions that were also interested in this kind of thing, not so much like it's system heat. It's just heat in the system. Sometimes that means cops, and sometimes it means Jabba the Hutt. It is what it is. And yeah, I think that works as a thing, especially since this is the problem. It always looks like he's going to get a 6. I don't need to worry about the risk, which I'm supposed to say ahead of time. Anyway, all right. So this thing powering off.
I keep not
into space.
That a 5 isn't a success.
It is a success.
That's where my problem is.
It's a success. It's a 7 to 9. It is what it is. It's that 7 to 9 that you get what you want, but stuff happens. So yeah, you totally get over to we keep shrinking as the ship disappears into the distance. Over to Baftoma and home. Okay. So yeah, and we get a little. We'll worry about the cutscene, all that kind of good stuff, as I scramble for my book and we get things back to where we are. So there is no where you're sent to is not a station as such. The wreckers like base of a dreadnaught. I want the Minmatar dreadnaught. That's what I want. I know exactly. Because we haven't had enough vertical ships. We haven't had enough vertical ships in this game yet. There's too many good ones here. All right, hang on. Oh yeah, that's perfect. It even looks like it's cobbled together because it's Minmatar. Hang on. We'll just put that image up here in chat. Did they say what the name of the ship was? Did they mention that in the wreckers thing? I feel like they did. There's the wreckers. Where are my wreckers? Makeshift base.
V'ger.
Yeah. V'ger, really? So picture of the ship there in the link. And another one that I just feel like I need to share because it amuses the heck out of me. If I can get, there we go. Oh, please, that one's annoying. Okay. I gotta get this up here where you guys can see it. Somebody took the stats of that particular ship and put it to scale.
Oh.
So I mean, it's a big. The picture doesn't. You put it next to a planet. It's not necessarily immediately, but it's a big ship. It's a city on its side. The engines not so much, but the guns are absolutely functional. That's a fun model. Anyway, all right. So V'ger. Anyway. All right. So there's stuff as we pull up onto this thing. You're greeted. You're being given appropriate call signs for this stuff. The notification of like what's supposed to be happening. What you're supposed to do when folks come in. or when the job gets brought in. So what immediately turns in, it turns out that ship's guns are still totally functional, even though the engines may not be. So they all kind of wheel around when you come into their space, but you're quickly able to kind of wave them off and get things under control. So let's jump into downtime stuff. After a job, PCs take stock of their income from the operation. A successful job generates cred. Did I say how much this was going to be? I know. I should listen to the recording. I feel like this was like a 4 cred thing, or was it 6?
8, I think was.
Yeah, you're very funny. I don't honestly remember. I feel like it was not 6 because it was like we're doing it as a favor, so the pay wasn't great because it was kind of a pain.
We're gonna have favors.
Yeah, it was like you were kind of paying up.
In crew relations.
I think it might be. Yeah, well, no, the guy was going to
Did Dave
get.
put it in the thing?
Ooh, maybe.
Dave's not at his desk right now.
God, because it would be 2 sessions ago. Let's find out. These are the things that a good GM would remember to look up later or beforehand.
GM without a life.
Yeah, stuff is tricky.
A good GM would have had it all on their 4x6 index cards and.
Oh. Got downtime.
Come on, in the hyperstack. Come on.
Paratime,
there you go.
ship level, mission. Squirrely, favored somebody, a couple ships. 4 cred. Thank you, Dave. Thank you so much. In all seriousness, thank you so much.
I think Dave gets an extra half cred just for that.
Yeah, that's just 4 cred. So that was a 4 cred thing. Based on the nature of the operation and or any valuables that they seized. So yeah. Is somebody on the ship sheet? Because I am not at this moment.
I am.
All right, so Armin, if you would do the honors, and I feel like having Armin record stuff on the ship sheet is kind of like putting the halfling thief in charge of the end, like the treasure at the end of the party. But
please, I generate my own money in between missions.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I think I feel like there was like Margie was running this halfling thief that everybody just trusted to keep track of the like treasure.
Yes, they did.
And I never understood it because it was fairly obvious she was taking like a 10 to 15% like finder's fee on everything.
You're pretty public about it.
Yeah, it wasn't even really.
And you were giving me first choice of any magic.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Record credit on the crew sheet. What does that bring us up to, Armin?
So we're at 8 cred. We need to get down to 4 before we finish out downtime. However,
or it goes into the vault or whatever. You were saying
no. It has to go away.
Oh, it can't go into the vault? There isn't like a.
We don't own the vault.
Oh, so it just goes away. Ew.
Right. So we need to distribute it to individuals.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So we need to pay 1 for our upkeep.
Yeah. All right.
So that brings us to 7.
So yeah, upkeep gets us down. Yeah, that's pretty easy. Gets us down to 7. And
then I would say, do we just want to pay out to everybody 1?
I think that's good. Everybody takes a cred. Everyone should have a cred because then you could do stuff with your downtime stuff.
I feel like that's a good play.
Sure.
So is that 5 people?
That's 5 people, so that brings us down to 2 cred,
Perfect.
and we are well within our amount.
Yeah, those of you get on your character sheets and note there's a spot to like write down how much cred you have. You might need it for reducing stress.
Congratulations, everyone. I promised I'd get you all paid, and I have.
Eventually.
Hey, but it was my contact.
All right.
I never said how we were getting paid. I just said we were.
All
Okay,
right.
so we have a spot on here for our creds somewhere.
Yep, it is right under. Yep.
Yep, got it.
All right. Outcomes. items. Oh, that's the upkeep. We don't need to do the up. We don't need to make a roll for the upkeep. We just have to pay the upkeep. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
All right. Heat.
There's rolls if we start skipping.
Right. Heat. Rin. Does Rin have heat already? Rin has 1 heat. That's hardly anything. All right. Completely quiet. I would say smooth and quiet. I would say smooth and quiet.
Smooth and quiet, and add 1 for our last little
Yeah.
hiccup.
Yeah, add 1 there, so that gets us 2 heat. So yeah, I'll put 2 heat into the Rin system. That gets us up to a 3. Choose a side. We're just gonna tick that up a couple. Nothing too bad. That's not bad. Wanted level doesn't come up. Clearing heat and wanted levels, that's something you guys can do with the stuff. Entanglements. Your wanted level is 0.
So
I got a fortune
we
roll
did
to
a
make,
job
right?
for the wreckers, correct?
Yeah, wait. Let me get the entanglements out of the way first. So I need to get on the ship sheet. And is there an entanglement spot? I feel like
there is.
There's just a roll fortune. I just roll fortune.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Number of dice. Uno. Submit. Notes. Let's go back over here. Fortune. A 2. Unquiet black. That seems to be following you guys around. So that's some weird way stuff. Actually, yeah. That makes a ton of sense since the ship had some crap going on. An alien or way creature finds its way on board. What? How could that possibly be?
It was stuck in Monster's hair.
Well, there were critters on that ship is the only problem. So, all right. 1 level in the system. Oh, that's nothing. All right, we'll deal with that in a second. I've got kind of an idea for what that might be, and there may be some way to just kind of address that. What I'm thinking is that while the wreckers were informed of the infestation on the ship, the quarantine wasn't as good as you might have.
What?
The quarantine wasn't quite as good as it needed to be, and
What? A bunch of junk guys can't run a quarantine correctly?
crazy, right? And I think so. One of them gets back on, like, you guys are careful, but one of them gets back, or at least some of them get back onto the. We get sort of a way creature kind of centipede tribble situation on the dreadnaught. And I think that's going to end up coming back towards your ship for reasons that may be explained by a certain briefcase hidden somewhere on the ship by Monster. We'll deal with that in a little bit. I feel like entanglements is like at a weird place. Like I would do that after downtime activities, but that's just me.
You roll it now, and they can occur at any time before the next job.
Right. So that's just going to be kind of a weird thing going on that we've. Maybe that's the next scenario. Is the trouble with tribble, the trouble with face eating centipede tribbles. Downtime activities. Everybody gets a couple.
Too many legs.
They are
too many legs.
The downtime stuff is all on page 184. Obviously, the Wreckers dreadnaught is capable of dealing with your vices and stuff. Did I miss the spot where they want you to like change your standings with various factions? Did I skip past that somehow?
No, it's just we took up that we did a job for the wreckers.
Yep. And that's on the faction sheet, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Faction.
So
that's
you
just ticked it.
Yep, I just
Okay.
ticked it, so we have to complete 2 more jobs for them for us to get any better with them.
Go up to level 3. Yeah. And I don't think. Well, who? Who is that syndicate? Who was your dude?
The Bernico Syndicate?
No, Drifter. Who's your racing person that you kind of shimmied?
Toss.
Yeah, is Shots with the Echo Wave Riders?
I assume so.
Well, no, they were with Echo Wave Riders, but I feel like they were working with somebody else. Let me look at that real quick.
We never associated her with a faction specifically.
Yeah.
The racer. So.
I think she was actually sort of like working a gig, like she was gonna head for that same thing. So whoever, not her specifically, but whoever she was working with, I feel like is going to be a little bit upset. But let me just dig on that. I will call upon you guys to take a look at what downtime activities you are interested in doing, and keeping in mind that if you want to take an additional downtime activity, that costs a credit, which you happen to have, which is handy.
I was just thinking that it's like I never get to do anything but like recover and vice. So maybe I'll spend some money on something.
I am definitely doing some vicing.
I'm gonna indulge vice and do some training.
I don't think anybody's not viced.
Yeah, honestly, I don't honestly know how we got everybody so stressed out, but it's kind of
because everybody said, "Go ahead, why not?"
Because we had that one night where we couldn't roll above a 2.
And I have not been able to roll more than a 3 on vice.
So
it was a 1 and a 3.
Okay.
And I actually haven't done a vice roll before.
Okay, so I want to walk through that real quick. This thing is going to track funny, but correct me if I'm wrong. If I want to take a faction from -1 to -2, I would need to piss them off. You guys would need to piss them off twice, right?
No, not necessarily. Basically, for -1, -2, there's a couple of ways to do it. It might be like a clock. Or it may be them doing a clock against us.
Okay, let me just get that. Let's get this guy up here. Because I think Bill had mentioned something like this, and I like how because this has to do with like who doesn't like the wreckers and stuff like that, and that works out really well for other stuff that we have going on here. So why is that coming on? That's weird. I can't get the edit to come up on that duplicate I just made.
What are you trying to change?
I want to change the name for this fast buck discovered, the one that I moved up next to the get the flock out of here.
Yeah. What are you naming it to?
Kitty.
Attracting the Starsmiths Guild anger or ire or something like that.
Being noticed by the Starsmith Guild.
Well, they're already -1 with you guys, but they were Bill had said, we were talking about those gravity generators that would be used on a station, and the fact that they're moving through like Darklands, because it seems like somebody, I'm not going to say the Spartan Guild, but somebody seems to be in the process of putting up some stations off grid. And they're also enemies of the wreckers, so it makes a lot of sense to me that they would be one of the people. They're probably doing it through a couple of double blind hiring people, but they're definitely the guys that would probably have been ordering it, and also doubly annoyed the fact that they didn't get their stuff back.
Cost them money.
Yeah. So I'm going to move that up to a 3. They're not quite there to dropping to -2 with it with you guys, but they're definitely uh, more than a little annoyed. So we'll leave that there and see if we end up ticking them off or ticking that clock. There'll be some ticking regardless. All right. So we'll just start at the top and work our way down and then come back. If that's cool. Or we did that last time. Let's start with Sun. So Sun, downtime activities. What you got?
I'd like to clear some stress.
Okay, indulging
I'm
a
going
vice.
to have a little fun.
You engage your vice and clear stress. For more details, see page 190.
Is your vice?
Space opium dens. When you indulge your vice, clear some stress from your character's stress tag. Explain how your character indulges their vice. So what does... Okay, so we've got this dreadnaught. It's a seedy place. Certainly capability, but the place that you go, are we looking at more raucous rave type of situation, or
Dark opium den?
or yeah, Johnny Depp in that one like period piece with Jack the Ripper, kind of opium den kind of thing, or somewhere between. What's
Beyond Hell?
What's the scene? Yeah, Beyond Hell.
From Hell.
From Hell. There you go.
That was a very specific example.
Well, I just
One in the shadow too.
there's a very strong atmospheric quality to that opium den in From Hell. So
Victorian opium dens.
yeah. Is it that kind of a thing, or is it more of a party type of situation? Is it just you acquiring something and going back and sacking out and just glazing out in a hammock in the ship?
Probably acquiring and going back so that I can add in a few things from my supply.
Yeah, like I can see him picking this stuff up as like, okay, yeah, that's fine. No, this is a good place to start. I'll cut it from here. Just leave me alone. So partly mixing in, is it also like not wanting to be around other people? Not out of shame or anything like that, but just because people are annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so how you find out how much stress relief you get is it's like a resistance roll in reverse. So you roll your worst stat, and then whatever your best number is there,
There's an indulge vice button.
there is indeed blah, blah, blah. That does simplify things considerably.
That.
Yeah, you do that, and it rolls your worst dice, which I think is probably your resolve. Still not bad. Got a nice spread of stats. And then whatever your number is, that's how much stress you take off. So
I like that.
And you get a 5. So take 5 stress. Look at you.
I already did.
Very nice.
Cool.
Very nice.
I like that a lot more.
Yeah, you like having just one?
Yeah.
That's nice. Monster. What are you doing?
Well, we're sneezing.
You.
Well, we've got a couple things in mind, but I think we're going to start off definitely with some stress relief.
Okay.
And I'm all over finding that really raucous place.
And is this a relieving stress by a good old fashioned bar brawl kind of relieving stress, or more of the food thing?
The bar brawl is kind of bonus atmosphere. It's my vice is definitely being that flavor junkie, and I've never been on this ship before, so I have no idea
what kind of
what
crazy
sort of things
crap
they
can get up to.
What sort of what they've convinced the various pieced together food processors to put together, or what strange things they're growing down in the hydroponics deck.
I don't know if you have read or have been following the TV thing for the Expanse, but one of the things that they get into with that is that it's the belters, the folks that are they're truly out in space all the time. Their food tends to be like the really it's all like grown or processed protein, stuff like that. But they have this particular food that's very specific culturally to the belt, which is kibble. And that's just what they call it. And all their food is spiced, like beyond the telling of it. But they've got this stuff that's like it kind of makes people's eyes water, like Earthers' eyes water, just to hear it. It's like, Mom made up some red kibble, and that makes their eyes water. And then they're told that's what we had for breakfast every morning when I was a kid, and people are like, but how? So when you've got like super bland stuff, like you get from sort of low end food processors and a relatively poor thing.
Yep. Yeast tanks.
Seasonings, man. It's all about seasonings.
Yep.
All right, so let's have.
I grew up on the mushroom planet, so I'm all about the seasoning.
All right, good stuff. All right, so that is again, as Sun pointed out, a indulge your vice roll. See how that goes. You unfortunately have a bad stat for indulging your vice because you have to roll your insight, which is not great, but the system will take care of it. There you go. Ooh. So since you have it's the rolling unskilled thing, so you take the dice and you subtract the lower of the two die rolls. So you take off 3.
So, if you want the good part of that, as we found out, nope. If you spend a coin to upgrade your result, you're only going to get up to the 3 to 4 or the 4 to 5 result.
Right.
So,
which only takes off. Well, it takes off what you roll. So, yeah, go back into your character sheet there and take 3 off.
That's what I'm doing. It's not wanting to click here.
You click.
Oh, you click the one in front of it.
Well, you click the one where you want it to be, which should be that one.
No, now you've taken off 4.
Oh, did I? I didn't know. I guess I forgot where you started. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, the downside of being stacked. Doctor, very good at indulging his vice. Strangely, crazy.
Years of practice.
So we'll circle back around to you. I like that, years of practice. Drifter.
I took XP for some training, and for my second downtime activity, I want to indulge vice, but I'm going to ask for a devil's bargain.
Okay.
So Drifter's going to go do some gambling, but word maybe got out about the whole way creatures maintenance issue. Like there were some bad heat that got around.
Sure.
Drifter didn't technically cheat, but some very highly placed people said he cheated, and the local mob came and roughed him up.
Okay. So I'm fine with that, but like what's the result of the devil's bargain then? Because you're trying to get rid of stress and you want a low grade injury?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Let's give our doctor something to treat.
Let's give the doctor something to treat. All right. So go ahead and do the first of all, let's go ahead and do the roll for that. There you go. So take your 4 off. Who currently has 7 stress?
Actually, it's 6 because I have hedonist, which lets me adjust the die roll.
Ooh. How much does it let you adjust by?
Plus or minus 2.
Nice.
And an ally who joins you may do the same. So anybody who gets in on the gambling can adjust their result too.
Well, I mean, I need some gambling in my life.
Very nice. I mean,
So.
you're certainly getting. I think you can find a way for that to get to your, what are you, luxury?
Yeah.
Yeah, indulgences, all that kind of good stuff. That works for me. Okay, so
I needed it. I still have not rolled above a 3.
It's really bad.
Oh.
So that gets you up to a 5, though, right?
Uh-huh.
And the harm, I put one in the harm here for
Yeah, not that one.
there we go. I was gonna go with nasty bruises. So
That's
yeah,
good.
they're going to purple, and they're going to purple like the next morning. They're a bit of a mess.
Let's just say you're not going to be attracting any positive attention for a little bit.
Cut on the orbital, on the like a cheek cut on the eye, like right next to your eye. Nasty bruise. Looks painful. Doesn't look like you want to smile without it hurting. Okay, so we took the XP for that training thing. Armin, you just rolled your one thing, so let's just take care of your other side of things. And what are you doing there?
Well, I had not thought that far ahead. So
I can loop back down. You can think about
I was
it.
about to say, son.
Yes.
Uh,
Oh,
yes,
me.
you. Yes, you.
I'm gonna train
Okay. What are you training?
prowess.
Do we have prowess bonus? We do, don't we? Or don't we?
We do what?
Let me see.
We do. So you get two
We do?
ticks instead of just one.
Yeah, you get 2 ticks on your prowess instead of just one because the ship has got.
Oh, sweet.
It gives you a
I'm
I
bonus.
sorry.
like that.
Does it? Is
I'm
it
trying
prowess?
to I'm trying to spot where on the ship that is.
It's under crew, or no, it's under training. So right next to crew gear. It's kind of in the bottom right-hand corner above playbook advancement.
Oh yeah, training, insight, prowess, personal, resolve.
Oh, okay.
You didn't use it last time, but you used it the time before. So if you use training monster to raise your prowess, so like I said, you get 2 ticks instead of just the 1 tick.
Right.
Personal is the same thing. If you just train personal, it gives you 2 ticks instead of the 1. Which is a lovely way. How did I miss Bay? Did I miss Bay? Oh,
Yeah,
I
you did.
because Armin jumped. It was the gambling, and it jumped me up to Armin. Because Armin was also participating in the gambling stuff. So Bay K Bay, KBD Bay.
Yes, I have 2 things I want to do, and I have a very specific order for them.
Okay.
One is before sun goes off and self-medicates.
Okay.
I want to heal myself
You're no
with
fun.
him.
I think. Oh, that's right. Yeah. You need like one more recovery tick, right? Is that right? You just need the one more to get
Because you
yourself.
can't do it all at once. So, yep.
Yep. All right. So that is a. Oh, good lord. Where's that at? Vice.
It's his doctor.
Right. Oh, where am I at? Oh, I went too far. That's why I got lost in the vice thing. Recover. When you recover, seek treatment. Roll the doctor action. They tend to your wounds. You take the recover action, but the doctor rolls. You can treat yourself. Blah 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 blah. When you recover.
So I get to roll it at his doctor ability.
Yeah, or he can just roll doctor for it. He can just hit doctor, or you
Okay,
can click
that's
on.
fine. I trust him.
So,
Oh,
Yeah.
Son, if you would roll doctor, please. This is just.
without anything?
Yeah. Well, you can if you want. You can push yourself or something.
No.
No
I'm
modifiers.
good.
Oh,
I'm
no.
good.
No modifiers. All right. Okay. Yeah, Son. Bloop. Oh, terrible roll.
I need 1 point though.
Yeah, it's true. So let me just double check this. When you've received treatment from a recover action, clear level 1 harm.
Well, 1 through 3 is a 1 tick.
Yep, 1 tick, and that's all you need. So there you go. And that is then. Does the level 2 harm go down to level 1, or does it just go away? I think it just goes away.
It goes away.
Let me just get that guy up.
When your healing clock is filled, remove all harm.
Yep, there you go. Cool. So that goes away. No more howling unknowable weirdness.
Make it go away, or do you need to do that?
I hit the wrong. Well, Howling Voices of the Black. Yeah, man, I typed a lot in there. And we move the progress clock back to 0, and you are clear
There we go.
of your howling madness. Ah, it's
So
like
I want to do that before I indulge. You know,
seems fair.
because I don't want that -1D sitting over
It's like
there.
you guys dock and the doctor's heading out, and all of a sudden this hand like spread out like across his chest. Hang on a second. We've got just one more thing here first. I mean, I like the idea of him going out and getting his stuff and coming back, and then before he can actually do anything with that, going like, I need a little bit of help, and he's like, actually, the stuff I just picked up is going to be fantastic for relieving some of that. You guys just hang out in the hammock for a little bit, like it's like, okay, well, I'm going to go do some stuff. Are you going to hang out here? Oh yeah, I gave myself 3 times the dose that you got. I'm glad that you're great, but I'm going to.
I'm great. I'm great right here.
Yeah, you get. Yeah, Kay got treatment levels and Sun got entertainment levels dosages. So, yeah. But there's a little bit where you guys are just kind of hanging out in the hammock for a while. It's like, all right. I like that. Okay, and what was the other thing you gonna indulge your vice? And your vice was kind of like exploring the whole.
Yeah, so I've really 2 ways that I do this. One is sort of through attunement, but since we're in this nice big wrecker place, and I'm sure they have all sorts of interesting little shops and back alleys and things like that, I'm going to wander around and see what I can see.
Okay. Now you don't actually have to make a roll for any. I mean, you make the stress roll if you want. Throwing this out here, you've got credit. So if you want to spend another, if you want to spend one of your credits on the research project,
That was my plan.
and it may so this will like first you make the roll, but then if you want to throw some credit out, you might be able to pick up some.
Yeah, my thought was
stuff.
to sort of look around and either, because I'm normally looking for stuff, but
Right.
now I'm specifically looking for stuff that looks like it might be related to
This stuff. Right. Right.
stuff. And so I guess I'm willing. I usually don't spend much money on stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I find stuff. I don't buy stuff. Right? That's what for museums, right?
Right. But now you have a goal.
Yeah. So now I'm specifically looking for something. So yeah, the plan was to have the cred to
Perfect. All right. Cool.
increase that, so I can combine the 2 together.
Well, first of all, let's do the indulge vice thing, which is just click the indulge vice button and see how that goes.
Remember where that is.
It is find your stress in your character sheet, and it's over to the right of your
there it is.
stress. Yep. It's a well-coded sheet. Layout is a bit of a struggle. Oh, that's annoying. Well, you're still a little bit stressed. There we go. I moved it down for you.
Thank you.
So I have a loop back on that because I want to. I think I have something to explain why you never really got to get too far into the weeds on your.
Why I feel so unsatisfied with my exploration of the space station.
I shall call it Kay's artifact antiquing binge. And like, we went antiquing on this old dreadnought. It was great. Yeah.
Unfortunately for Kay, usually he ends up, in some not very good part of town, in an alley, having to stand somebody for drinks and drinking too much of the local alcohol.
Right.
These in good places.
Let me just. I want to type something in here. One sec. I see. Okay, so all right, that was Kay taking care of her 2 things. Sun. Were you training physical? Was it you're training prowess? Was that the?
Me.
Yeah. So that's really easy. You just put 2 ticks in your prowess and you're done. You're good to go. If you are so inclined, you just put a couple ticks in there and off you go. Monster.
Yes. So actually, I'm going to spend my cred to do 2 things here because I want to do some prowess training, but I also want to continue my research project.
Okay. Alrighty. That works for me.
It's shared clock with us on that.
Yeah, it is a shared clock. It is a meaty 8-tick clock, but you guys are certainly shared on that, and it sounds like Kay was heading that general direction as well. So first of all, let's talk about the training. Are you doing like prowess training, personal
Prowess,
training?
yeah.
Okay. All right. So a
So
couple ticks there.
I've
That's
advanced that.
very
Yep.
straightforward. Spend the credit. What are you doing for research? What does this research look like? Are you digging around through looking for people that know stories? Are you doing more tune stuff? Going through a series of
Well,
knickknack shops?
I did it. Fancy meeting you here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did the attune thing last time.
correct.
I'm not big on the study thing, unfortunately. Um,
But you are a social animal. I mean,
that's
What's your carouse?
yeah.
well, actually, neither my concert or my sway is very good. I'm really, if I could figure out who to try to intimidate about it,
Ooh.
I could definitely do something like that. Actually, you know what? I am sure that they've got some sort of research facility here, and I'm sure there are people who would be more than happy to help me do some research on this thing.
Or that may have heard something about it.
As opposed to not being able to use their fingers on keyboards for a while.
I mean, I am 100% on board with that. It seems to me that there's a risk there of generating some bad ill will. And I'm just putting that out there as like a risk of some potential ill will on, because this is an actual. Well, no, I get it. Okay, so this is my instinct, but I think my instinct might be off on this. Do I do consequences when they're just rolling on the long-term project, or is it just the advancing of the clock that we focus on?
It's really just an advance of the clock
Okay.
because on a 1
All right.
through 3, it's one segment.
All right. That's fair. Yeah, there's not really any consequences. So never mind. Disregard what I was about to say. This is which is fine because we
I was about to say,
Flavor to it without
you can-
consequence.
I was about to say, if you want consequences, you can offer him the devil's bargain.
Ooh, that's true.
Ooh.
So yeah, you could do the intimidate if you want to go for kind of a go big go home kind of a thing. Okay, so you can kind of do this a couple different ways. You mentioned your consort sway is not great. Can give you a devil's bargain there that would at least get you rolling unskilled. Because what I guess for the physical threats, the intimidate kind of thing, would that be
Command,
sure?
which is why I've got 2 ticks in it.
Right. That would get you up to 3. Devil's bargain downside being there, of course, devil's bargain, and it's going to happen. So they'll help, but there's going to be grumbles and stuff. I'll probably start a clock about that to see if you guys continue to piss off the wreckers and sort of cause some bad blood there. You're not going to fill it up, but it's definitely something where you're going to want to maybe sweeten that back up a little bit in the future, kind of thing. That's for the bonus dice, if you want.
We'll let you off the hook if you go beat up this arrogant pilot.
So yeah, probably with that, the devil's bargain would be we'll start a clock with like the wreckers just like, I think you guys are taking advantage of us a little bit, kind of a thing. It's you're part of our people. That means you don't get to pick on more others of our people, kind of a thing. Up to you.
What do we have? So what are the opportunities for
You broke.
When advancing the clock, it's not a straight number. It's like
It
a range of things,
it depends
isn't
on the dice roll. In this case, as the devil's bargain, it'd probably be the same kind of thing as with this clock with the Starsmith Guild. Being ticked off, it would either. I think it would probably be like a 6-count clock that I'd probably fill up about halfway.
No, I'm actually thinking about the other clock, which is the research project.
Oh.
In other words,
a 1 through 3. A 1 through 3 is 1 tick. A 4 to 5 is
Okay.
2 ticks. A 6 is 3 ticks, and a crit is 5. Yeah, 5.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will absolutely take the Devil's Bargain. Actually, Monster is very unhumorous about this entire aspect of the escade. Yeah, he'll take the Devil's Bargain.
He's taking this thing pretty seriously.
He is taking it very seriously. And I will note that I also get, because I am scary, I gain potency when trying to intimidate someone.
So potency would make the result one level better?
No. Yep, if it was standard before, it's great now.
Okay. So yeah, there's a potential here for getting a lot out of this. The clock I'm going to start. I'm going to do because these guys. I mean, you haven't you haven't had a ton of interactions with them in the past, and to like kind of come into their home base and kind of intimidate their guys and stuff like that. I'm going to make it and also because there aren't a lot of opportunities necessarily to advance the clock. I'm going to make it a 4 o'clock and put 3 ticks on it. So it's kind of risky. Well, it's there to be pissed off, to be done with one way or the other. So we're going to just duplicate the piss off the Starsmiths Guild and change it to piss off the Wreckers. And we'll have another one of those making people angry kind of things. All right, but that gives you an extra dice, so you're rolling 3, 4.
Well, it doesn't give you an extra die.
No. The Devil's Bargain gives you an extra die.
Devil's Bargain gives me. Okay.
And then the potency is that whatever the result is that you get one better.
Right. So it's command. It's going to be +1 die. Where's my character sheet? Okay. So I think I'm ready to do this.
And Armin, I will note that I sent you a message in Roll20 chat.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did.
Because I do not see it. Unless it was much earlier.
No, it should be
all the vice rolls.
It should be right under Margie's vice roll. Do you not see it?
I do not see it. I will drop out of the game and come back in and see if it shows up in the log.
If not, I will shoot you something over in Discord.
So risky standard?
Risky standard for this. Yeah. That it's not relevant. It's just a matter of the.
I'm getting 1 bonus die.
Yep.
I do not see it.
All right, I will get your thing. So that would get you. Basically, it works out to like a 6 result. So that would tick you up 3 on that. Because of your potency on the intimidate thing.
Right.
So you would normally get a 4-5 result. Turns it up to a 6 result, so that gives you 3. Ticks on the clock. Is that 1, 2, 3? Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Researching the elf keys. So, yes, what?
You're saying nothing. Oh.
No, I want. What are you learning? If you're learning stuff, I need to know.
Oh, I was slightly wrong about those things.
Okay, tell me what. Tell me more.
Unless I am wrong about this, and I'm gonna have to find this.
All right. I pinged you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look through this, and also, I'd already thought about that.
Okay, good. All right.
My only problem right now is I technically have 4 downtime actions.
Well, yeah, if you want to spend the credit for sure.
You want to give me one?
I have my banked one from last downtime that I was going to use in a flashback, but it never came up.
Oh, right. Right. Did they bank like that, or is it a use it or
Uh,
lose it kind of thing? I don't want to. I'm not trying to screw you out of one. I don't know how they.
no, I have ideas,
Okay, I'm fine with it.
so we'll go over that.
All right, cool. So we have pissed off records. We have pissed off Starsmiths Guild. We have intimidated researchy people. A lot of junk comes into this place, and yeah, monster ends up terrorizing like a sort of a intel gathering. Not exactly researchers per se, unless you want them to be. Are they part of the? Yeah, they're. I feel like with the way that the reaction of this is probably part of the wreckers. But yeah, you go looking and it's never like grab a guy in the alley, drag him in, but you sort of like find your way to people who are like gathering intel and records, and you sort of like just park yourself in their working space, and when they get ready to go home for the day, you're like, no, you need to stay and help with this. No, you're staying. We haven't learned enough yet, and we're all staying. If you want to order food, that's fine. Extra spice for everything, but everyone is staying here. Kind of until the boss comes in the next morning, and everyone's still working, and there's empty pizza boxes and those spicy like
lots of red chili flake
red chili
packets.
flakes packets everywhere, kind of scattered like glitter. And the boss starts, yelling and getting hot, and then Monster stands up, and that subsides again, and that kind of thing. So there's more advance on that. There's always rumors about the different keys that'll open up the gate and stuff like that, and you start compiling lists of locations of sightings and that sort of thing. What's that?
Yes, I was just making yes noises.
Places to check out. Where rumors, this particular dig site, this particular library, this particular noble's private collection, that kind of thing. And that's that. I'm not going to get into specifics because you haven't actually had the breakthrough, but definitely sort of a list of locations kind of thing to start working on. Something to cross-reference with, different feelings you've gotten from the gate and that kind of thing, from the key and other stuff that Kay comes up with. So there you go with that.
Mm-hmm.
Who haven't we? So Monster got 2 in, Drifter got 2 in.
I've gotten 3 in.
You've gotten 3 in. Kay needs to get another one in that she's paying for. Sun has done 2. Drifter's done 2. Armin's done 1 and has 3 waiting. Drifter trained and then got his vice thing taken care of. So we have at least, okay, if you're so inclined, Sun and Drifter can still do something else if they want to spend credit on it. And while you're considering that, I'm going to get Armin roped in here and at least find out a couple of his, and then I want to get to Kay's thing with...
I stashed my cred, so I'm good.
Oh, you stash it? Cool. All right. So first Armin on something.
Yep. So I have from last time, I have my special either acquire an asset or lay low.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't really need to do either of those, and we didn't have to do either of those before. So
yeah, that's true.
So I would like to acquire an asset.
Okay, that sounds good.
Because we haven't done this before, and I feel good about this.
Okay, acquiring an asset. This is a fun thing because it's like prepping ahead, and we're going to be heading in the general direction of gate key stuff. Gain temporary use of an asset. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
So I feel like for this, feel the group here on this one. Which do you feel is going to be more useful here? Or possibly, which one do you want more? Do we want like some piece of special gear that might help us with gate stuff?
Ooh.
Or do you want a gang of, I don't know,
Thugs.
I was about to say, wreckers.
Wreckers?
Yeah, like
yeah.
people who can take stuff apart.
I can think of a couple suggestions. I'm not sure how easily we'd be able to get our hands on them, but one thing would be like we had talked about how the gates might naturally attract way creatures, but have some sort of defense against them. If we were able to acquire something like that on a smaller scale, like for our ship, that seems like it would be very useful for some of the things that we're doing.
Kind of shielding
Ooh, that would be nice.
or dampening field.
Some kind
Yes.
of some kind of not a way creature bug zapper, but some kind of way creature
Ward.
some citronella
Oh,
candle.
a lampshade for the bright light that is in space.
Or even the equivalent of like a chaff or flare system, like if we see these things coming, we can decoy them off to something else.
Yeah.
But something that would make us more effective in dealing with the side effect of chasing artifacts down.
Doyce, I'm going to ask a silly question here.
Yeah.
Since acquire the asset once is a use, or like using it on a job is a use.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
If I just get 2 uses, could like the first use be them showing it off being like, look, it works. It killed all your tribbles.
Sure.
Mm.
If you're so inclined, you can certainly solve that problem by
Throw money at the issue.
throw money at the problem.
Yes. That seems like a very
we use this to lure these things away. All right, well, we got way creatures on the dreadnaught. Like, fly out about 55 kilometers and fire that sucker off. Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah. Show me what you got. Well, you know how expensive it. Just do it, man. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. I gotta say, every time Armin does a scene, I want to go back and play Borderlands 2 again.
I mean, I mean, I'm not playing Reese, but I sort of am.
I mean, I can't remember why I didn't play that long into it. I don't know why. I think probably, I think my youngest daughter was born, and thus
that usually is a thing or two.
I have a lot of really good games that have never been touched in my Steam library. Let's just put it that way. That's all sounded really good at the time. Okay, yeah. Now you have to roll. Require asset roll. Ooh, this is weird. Okay, crew quality.
Yes, we're rolling our tier.
Are we tier 1 yet? We're not tier 1
Nope,
yet.
we're tier 0. So that was the other thing. Our Dockmaster friend Takala.
Right.
Have we ever determined where they're at?
Nope.
Are they here?
They can be.
All right.
They can be. In fact, it'd be awesome to have them kind of like, trying to get your hands on something like that they probably use to keep their dreadnaught, like keep these kind of troubles, like, or at least knowing how to get a hold of it. I think probably they don't have it, but they know somebody who can have it. Hang on just one second. But yeah, I'm down with them being involved.
All right, cool. Well then, because I'm involving a friend, I'm adding 1. Which gets us 1 die.
1.
Doyce, did you say hold on or no?
Sorry, yeah, I did. 1 second.
Okay. So I hate to say this, the best I can do is I could get us tier 1 bug zapper.
That's fine.
It's better than nothing.
It is better than nothing. So we roll crew quality, which plus the help, so that gets us like a 1 die thing, right?
Yep.
And yeah, you're definitely not going to crit. Well, you could get tier
Now I
Oh,
could
you get the
it.
tier of the ship that you're. I see.
So I could spend my 1 cred to upgrade it if I rolled a 6, but I rolled a 2.
Which gets you to, yeah.
Tier 0. Because there's at least a minimum tier level.
Even
Yeah.
a basic one of these, I think, would be useful.
Yeah,
So
just having
Sure.
it narratively is going to be a useful thing. So you're saying you would spend the cred to get it up to like the equal tier?
No, there's a minimum tier.
All right,
Like
right.
things
So you can get up to.
can't.
So
Yeah,
you spend the cred to knock it up one. Is that the idea?
No, I don't have to spend the cred.
Okay, that's fine.
Because
That's fine.
because there's a minimum level for the
Right.
tier.
No, I meant spend a cred to put it up to tier 1 is what I meant.
The best I could do is still tier 0.
Okay, never mind then. But no, yeah, I just having the thing. I mean, worst case, what this is then a distractants thing that's at the same tier as your ship. I don't see that as a downside. You know, it's not the greatest, latest, and greatest, but it's like it's no, we've got something like that. Yeah. Now, were you going to do this as like sort of 2 uses where one is also getting this problem to go away for the
Yes,
for the
that
dreadnought?
seemed like the best use.
I like that idea so much that I'm actually going to take a tick off the piss off the wreckers thing. Just cuz that seems like the kind of thing that makes it. They're not completely, but So yeah, we've got a 1-use kind of way creature chaff generator sort of. That's how I'm picturing it. You want it to be more of like a lure kind of a chaff thing or a drive you away kind of thing?
I like the citronella candle of way creatures.
Yeah. Okay. So something that just kind of makes them want to go away, not something that's like, ooh, kibble. And goes kibbles come up a lot tonight. All right. So does that leave you still with one more to do, Armin, or is?
Yes, and that is still one of my open ones.
Okay.
For whatever.
So
I want to start a long-term project.
All right. What is that?
I figure in Armin's downtime, he has figured out what like the lowest level of of price on sector nobility is.
Okay.
I'm going to do the equivalent of going to get a knighted Liechtenstein.
Nice. Oh my God, I love it. All right.
How difficult is this?
Man.
This is
I.
This is step 1 on a longer term project for Armin.
I think does an 8 seem fair?
An 8 seems fair. Like
Okay.
this is probably not something like Armin's gonna buy his way into this one. I am 150% certain of.
Okay, so let's just get this down here. I'm going to duplicate this one. We're going to call this. All right. We got a Sir Armin clock. And we'll just get that one going there. Can you see Sir Armin now?
Yes, I can.
Okay,
So
lovely.
I have two questions for you about this.
Yes.
A, where is this? Like,
I think. Oh man, hey, hang on. I got. Now okay. Not Ren, or not Warren. It's too close to the. No. No.
So,
Yeah, keep going.
Sonahandra
I
in
was
Holt.
just looking at that.
It is tidally locked and has lax trade policies, and I feel like the lax trade policies might be like, oh yeah, you want to be like, I have no idea what the title would be.
I love the idea of you being like a baron of
Baron.
like of some like tidally like some uninhabitable patch of planet that's like on the sun side and like completely like nearly uninhabitable. Um, like it's an underground bunker that you have to get in fast enough before your ship's wings like light on fire, or just go through the tunnels to get to it. Perpetual twilight scene.
What
Perpetual
world was it again?
Sanhandra.
So, I like Baron for one reason and one reason alone.
What's that?
It puts Armin 3 steps of peerage below his ex-wife.
Oh, it's hilarious. All right, so we gotta say, I gotta change this clock a little bit. So we need Sir
Oh,
Armin
man.
of
I
Sanhandra.
I just love this idea. It's like, yes, I'm the Baron of the fourth moon of Sarahandra. Isn't that the one that's on fire? Yes.
Yes, yes, it is.
Sometimes.
But the sunsets are amazing.
I want to ask a quick question.
Yeah.
Earlier, we had said Armin was participating in the Indulge Vice with Drifter. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I want this to have happened at some point where Drifter could tell people, yeah, I'm with the Baron.
So he's been claiming to be a baron, and now he's actually trying to get the
or
peerage.
just Drifter is claiming that he's a baron.
Oh my God!
Not even that he's a Baron, just that he's with the Baron. Like he wants to get into the better card games and like the box seats and kind of get with the fair rollers to just kind of take that angle.
Oh my goodness.
I love
And
it.
with how Armin dresses, that they'd probably be like, oh, there's a Baron. Okay.
All right. Yeah, sure. It's he's.
Now remember, you're not the Baron yet. You're just figuring out how to get there.
Yeah, but that's
right.
I mean, why would that stop? Why would that stop Armin?
Fair enough.
Yeah. Yes.
Baron in waiting.
Baron in waiting. I'm waiting. Like, what do you mean? Well, I'm waiting.
Baron apparent.
Baron apparent. Okay, so you need to do a roll, and I think what does it start off as? Is this like a schmoozing kind of a deal? How are you pursuing this initially?
Yes, I feel as though like, oh man, I feel like this is me and my lawyer, like digging deep into like, okay, here's all the steps you have to go through in order to actually do this, and it's just like, okay, yeah, okay, so I need to get sign-offs from this and that and this, okay.
I'm trying to decide if that's. Let me look at the skill thing.
I was about to say, if you want it to be a study, I'll take a study.
I'm willing to settle for that. I want to look at one other one. I'm looking at one other one first here, just real quick, if I can.
Because I feel like step 2 is going to be consorting with the nobles of Sanahandra in order to get them to like even indulge this idea.
Yeah, you're right. Consort would be. Yeah, let's go with study. I'm fine with it. Yeah, I think I'm good with that. I'm good with that. So so study, and you get an extra die because you're getting your lawyer friend involved.
Yeah.
That works for me. What do we have?
Okay, so that's a 3. So that is
one tick.
One segment. And I'm paying for the upgrade.
You're paying for the upgrade to get up to 2 segments?
Yep.
All right. The problem with the paperwork is not that it's particularly onerous. It's hard to find documentation for Sanhandra on this kind of stuff. They have a sort of cultural reluctance to definitively document the process whereby something can be done, because that really prohibits the more improvisational, entrepreneurial spirit of elected government officials.
Elected.
Well, government officials. Why pen someone in with? I mean, all the laws are there. It's a matter of getting to them. There's more fees to like access the stuff than there is to because. Are you saying if you don't know what the rule is? No, I know what the rule is. Just listen to what I'm telling you. Yeah, but why can't I look it up? Just tell me. Just let me explain what it is. So yeah, just getting the documentation is definitely a push. But you have something. You have something to work with. By God. Kay, you were going to do a little bit of research, and you got interrupted. But let's find out how the research actually went. If you had a bit of a breakthrough. And that for that, could be study, could be as you're digging around through the various little nooks and crannies of the dreadnaught and the little shops and
I would say
occasionally.
it's either study or sway. If it's sway, it's to pull the stuff out from
Yeah, like
the
sort of
back.
picking up word of mouth.
Um,
Well, sway would be talking somebody out of something.
or into something. No. Show us the good stuff. I actually have money today.
Ooh.
Well, maybe.
I mean, for something good. Well, you're because this is one you're spending credit on, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'll go with sway. That's fine. It's like, I'm actually talking about serious money here. Serious money.
Oh, risky standard or whatever.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter in this case because it's really about advancing the clock one way or the other. We get our sway, and that puts it at a 4, and that'll give you 2 ticks, but that gives you the 2 ticks that you need to finish this clock. Oh, that's exciting. So.
Probably doesn't happen until Monster and I get back to the ship together. His pieces and my pieces need to come together to.
Pieces. Yeah. Choose side. All right, there we go. Uh, um,
It's like a good way to set something up for next time.
I'm thinking about what this is. So you get some stuff that it's a series of it's like a collected 3 books, paper of all things, crazy. From this would be about 150 years back, which is crazy because that gate wasn't open yet at that point. The Holt gate wasn't open at that point in time, but there was theorizing about the presence of these various keys that would activate various gates. That was all kind of pointed at the Holt gate. None of that's necessarily. None of that was what ultimately got the Starsmiths Guild, as far as you're able to determine, what any of the stuff that they used to actually get the Holt gate open. But the theorizing, in as much as it's all kind of about what many archaeologists would consider to be a fairy tale, it's all sound within that assumption. If you assume that the caves actually do anything or even exist, the theorizing was kind of sound. At least it had an internal logic. So it's not something you ever put a lot of effort into thinking about. But it's like if you took that and applied it to this, and that would actually provide some clues, because a lot of it was about like where would you find this stuff, what would you do with it, how would they interact with one another, that sort of thing. So the books themselves are valuable because of the collector's nature of it, and the guy kind of gets a sense, the fact that the materials and also the kind of stuff. They're hard to get because again, there's a whole series of kind of outlawing of various kinds of things that would, so there's a lot of reasons why it would cost a lot. But that's easy. You can still get a hold of them. So you got quite a bit of wealth in your satchel as you're heading back to the ship. And you're a bit on edge when you hear this sort of rushing kind of a slapping, sandaled slapping on the corridor as you're coming along, sort of expecting it to be some kind of trouble. And this kind of disheveled, wild-haired, it looks like the kind of guy who would live in like down below in Babylon 5 or something like that. Kind of, yeah, comes rushing up it comes up and says, you found one of the keys. You're looking for more of the keys. I can help. Let me help. And we're gonna stop right there.
Thank you.
So one of the reasons that you didn't get rid of as much stress as you might want to is because apparently a crazy man wants to help you. So you're feeling really good about getting back to the books, and you realize with the sinking heart, it's going to be a little while before you get a chance to look at those books, because there's crazy in your face, and he needs to brush his teeth. Okay, so let's look at some ship stuff. Let's look at some XP stuff. Let's look at some end of session stuff. At the end of session, for each of the item below, mark 1 XP. Execute a successful transport or smuggling operation. Check. Contend with challenges above your current station. We did not do that. Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one.
Oh, we are the weirdos.
We started at least one clock.
Yeah. I mean, yes. Develop a new one. Will randomly terrorize their own allies in pursuit of their goals. Sure. Express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew. Several of you guys are digging around through and letting it be known that you're looking for stuff of these way artifact kind of things. I think that definitely counts. So throwing a tick in there as well. Armin.
Let's see. Didn't roll desperate. Address the tough challenge with deception or influence. Was the guy a tough challenge to talk him down?
Yeah, no. I think you were just assisting at that point in time anyway, so it wasn't like there was.
Yes, but I did address the challenge.
You did address. I don't think he was that tough, personally. Well, no. You know what? Yeah, no. Go. Yes, go ahead. Express your beliefs, drives, heritage, background. Armin wants to be a noble. I'm giving you an XP just for that, just because it's
That's
hilarious.
new.
Yeah.
I like that.
I feel as though the talking to the guy in the way that
that caused us all to roll our eyes at you.
Yes. I feel as though that's worth a one.
That's fine. We can do that as well. That's it. So I got you ticked up there.
Let's see. So that was express beliefs, drives, heritage, and all that.
Yes.
Struggle with issues from your vice or trauma? Not really.
Nope.
Although I know somebody who did. Anyway. Go ahead, Bay.
I get credit for a 1.
I didn't mean Bay, but.
Okay. Well, who did you mean?
Gon, who got beat up for.
Oh, that's fair. Oh, that's absolutely fair. Yeah, actually, we'll get to him in a second, but that's a good point. Doc did not struggle with issues of vice or traumas during the session. You express your beliefs, drives, heritage, background. Yes. Charm or audacity? I don't think so.
Oh, there was some charm there.
Because I mean, for the artifact stuff, the books.
The books. Well, that caps you out anyway, so you're right there.
There we go.
There you go.
translates into a tick on one of the ones up here or a buy?
Nope, you get a starting ability, or not a starting ability, a special ability.
One of your special abilities there, if you are so inclined. You can also siphon them off to stats if you're so inclined.
You could do that as well.
Yeah, they siphon off to
Yeah.
like, those ones in the playbook advancement thing can go up to and fill up boxes into stats.
Yeah, your end of session can go wherever you want it to go.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So yeah, those can just kind of siphon up to fill up. So if you're inclined to fill up your resolve, whatever. But yeah, you can once they're totally filled up like that, you can use them to get stuff off the special abilities. So, gone. Drifter. Struggle with issues with their vice or dramas. Yeah, you got punched in the face repeatedly. Express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
I coasted on Armin's newfound fame.
I will take that. Yes. I'm not sure about the speed or flare, but speed didn't quite come up to it.
I'm going to ask for flare because using mines to aid in propulsion, I think, is kind of clever.
Fine, I'll go with that. Are you? Did that fill you up? That fills you up. Yay!
Yeah, and I'm going to take the. I want to clarify here. When I see 3 ticks on like the veteran thing on like the PDF character sheets, does that mean it costs 3 to buy another ability, or you can buy some other playbook's ability up to 3 times?
It's actually more than 3 times.
It's the second one. It's the second one at least.
Yeah. 3 just looks good on a sheet.
Okay, so at this point, could I spend this XP to buy an ability off the mechanic sheet?
Sure. Yes.
Okay, I'm doing that.
Except for the starting ability.
Like the very, very, very first core one.
Yep. The starting abilities are always hands off.
Was that the one that you had your heart set on?
I'm buying baling wire and mech tape from mechanic.
That sounds good.
That looks like a very good upgrade for you to take.
Baling wire and mech tape. You get an extra downtime activity to repair, and the repair activity costs you 0 cred. Hell yes. That's cool. I like it.
And the advancement after that is exceed specs, where on board a ship you can damage the ship system to get a bonus to.
Oh my God! Live in fear, folks. Bill has figured out his synergies.
I mean, that's really how you do it.
Absolutely, yeah. I have to admit, I like the long-term projects just because you can really go like. The long-term projects have a real traveler feel to them to me, like kind of,
Mm-hmm.
I want to be a noble. I want this. I want to, I like that. There's things about the overall game system that flummox me, but long-term projects are certainly not only in this game, but I do like them in this game. I've seen them fairly recently showing up as tech in some other games as well that are kind of fun.
Man, just like all of the downtime is part of this game.
Yeah, you can make it's good stuff there.
One thing that we've done very little of, I'm sure it's shown up a couple places, but it doesn't stand, is the whole flashback mechanism.
Yes.
To tee up things that we're trying to do. We tend to be very, okay, what are the current circumstances, resources, what can we pull together to assist each other?
Right.
And we should be able to use that whole flashback thing to really help with some of that.
Yeah.
I will comment that a couple of our heists have actually been, hey, go into space, do a thing in a very isolated kind of constrained area.
Right.
There wasn't either a lot of room for planning, or there was a lot of, hey, you're doing stuff in the now. For the space station one, I actually did invoke a flashback.
You did.
To set up the thing, but like if we were on a planet, if the time scales were a little more expanded, I feel that it would make more narrative sense in a lot of cases for a flashback to be how we got things done.
Yeah.
So I think it's really more situational, not that we've been avoiding it, but that it hasn't been the logical outcome.
That's fair.
Well, I mean, there's stuff that there is stuff that we could have said that we did related to the mine setup. There's stuff that we could have had figured out, that we had teed up, that we could
all
have
that is true. I'm just saying, like it felt like not the most logical thing to have done.
Or or simply, I wouldn't say even logical. It just didn't necessarily occur to us.
It didn't stand. To me, it hasn't stood out as something. So
Right.
I need to, for myself, make a note to think about that more.
That's an excellent point. Okay, where were we at on XP? That was Bay. No, that was Drifter.
That was
That was
Drifter.
me.
So monster. Muscle.
Okay, so we already took the just addressed a tough challenge with threats.
Yes.
Okay.
You threatened you were intimidating your whole group of research monkeys.
Yes.
Which is also a good way to express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Yep.
So tick that, and I do not believe you struggled with issues of
I don't
vice.
really struggle with issues from my vice or traumas, so that'll give me 2.
Yep.
Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and plow one of those into the to wrap up the prowess.
There you go. So that lets you advance.
Yeah,
whatever.
I should probably, because I've been training on it and actually go ahead and bump up the skulk.
Fun. I like it. Very cool. Get sneaky,
So
man.
we now have a more skulky monster.
I like it. Makes him the jungle warrior kind of thing. I like it. Or the mushroom jungle warrior. Sun also had a tick from the desperate. Did we get that tick in from rolling that desperate roll?
Yes.
Okay. You addressed a tough challenge with insight or compassion. I'm gonna say no. You express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. At least once. That I can think of immediately off the top of my head. Struggled with issues from your vice or traumas. Struggle? No. Succumb to?
Oh,
Enjoy.
trouble.
Yes. Enjoyed?
Struggled with keeping himself from doing it before he could
Actually,
do some healing stuff.
I mean, we're just really the healing needs to happen together. So yeah, all right, that's good. That's good. All right, guys, I am gonna go toddle off, but thank you very much. We're at a good starting up. We actually wrapped up a whole thing, and we're at the end of the downtime and looking at the next thing. And we have a lead, a verifiable lead. Once you guys get all in the same place and talk to the sweaty tooth madman, or possibly not talk to the sweaty tooth madman.
By the way, Joyce, I think I'm gonna take tenacious for my, so
What-
I don't have to.
What does that do?
It makes me treat harm as 1 level less severe.
Nice.
Anything except for a 4.
Because a 4 will just kill you.
Well, yeah, and honestly,
a 4 is still fatal, but anything other than that, it's 1 less.
and 4 is one of those things that you start off right off the bat by resisting down to a 3, just so you can survive it. I mean, that's what the resist rolls are for, really. So,
I think that sounds like
it sounds good. I mean, you have been hurt. You have determined that it sucks.
I think I'm the only one that's been healed.
Taken an injury, yeah. So, well, I mean, that's.
We had some other ones in there, but yeah.
Yep. All right, sounds good.
Thank you.
All right. Good
Thank
night,
you,
guys.
everyone.
Thanks very much. And my computer only randomly and inexplicably crapped out on me once, so we'll call that a win. Hooray.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.